G'day guys, welcome back to the 7 Tackle Set NRL SuperCoach podcast. I'm your host Brano with the clown again. I'm also joined by the SC Whisperer in second, but crown man today is the SC Matrix. Matty, good week for you, a 14-12. Tell me, did you go to Amazon and get yourself a crown?
Hey, nice, love that. Respect a bit.
Yeah, went to the local $2 store with the young fella today, and picked me up a crown because you know what, I deserve it.
You do deserve it. Well done. 14-12, great week. Should definitely be seeing some pretty solid green arrows with that, you'd expect. Josh, you had a pretty good week as well, mate. 13-39. You'd expect that to probably be. What do you reckon par is at the moment? It's pretty hard to gauge.
I think I said par was 1250, 1270, thereabouts. Like looking at leagues I'm around, like you were very hard on yourself. You're like, oh, I've gone so bad, and I was like, here's this creator, and they were like 200 points worse than you. So I think 1270 pretty much is par. I would hope you're getting green arrows based off your rank last week. If you're not, then we're having some trouble, but no, I think it's fine. 13-39, not too bad, not too great. Took the sit down to weigh option, looped Haas, was really happy with the 220 to see it come down to a 2.6. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, some good stuff around, some bad stuff around that we'll chat about, but not too bad, not too great.
Yeah, look, any team that goes 1400 plus had to have had Kelma Tuolangi in it, so I agree, Wayne. Spot on there. Let's see what Matty's team looks like a little bit later. But guys, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Give the show a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. It helps us get the show out to more people. And of course, if you do like the content and you want to get reminded every week, you can even subscribe and hit those notifications as well so you don't miss any of our future shows. Of course, we are coming to you Sunday through Thursday throughout the week. Of course, if you are a subscriber, you get your own standalone show and you get a deadline stream inside the Discord. I tell you what, it's been busy, but busy is good in the world of SuperCoach because hopefully it can distract everybody from my average start. So stay tuned for that. But we've obviously had a chat about our teams. Well, let's do that a little bit more in depth.
How'd we do? It's time for scores on the doors.
I'll start at the bottom. Harry
here.
Grant. Yeah, you can keep that on a little bit longer, mate. I'll come to you last. But I had Harry Grant. I think that there's some players on the chopping block more so than players that I was really happy with. But Carrigan and Haas at front row forward 1 and front row forward 2 was a nice warm blanket for me this week. It felt really nice, 103 and 83 there. There are. I don't want to talk about my 2RF. It's triggering. Many of them will be rage traded, I reckon, coming into this week. Gus Crichton, Azay Yo, Joe Chan was fine. I had Noah Martin, Arama Howe. They're all good, but yeah, those two and Tino in flex. Those three guys are I'm sure going to be spoken about in this show in a lot of depth. And when I mean depth, I mean get the fuck out of my team, Tino, because that is pretty much the only analysis I have for this, Josh. It's I know you yourself as a Tino owner as well. He's been a really frustrating own the first 2 weeks, more so for the minutes than anything.
Yeah, starting off with what was good, same as you, Harry Grant, Payne Haas, fantastic as well. And obviously having Nathan Cleary at halfback is really good, especially in a week where Nico Hines and Sam Walker probably didn't deliver, which are the most obvious options. So fantastic for that. But yeah, Tino, I'm a little bit disappointed. Like when we had this news that he had the off-season knee surgery, I was sort of really, really put off, and then just sort of like kept looking into it, and I'm like, well, this looks okay. And I just, ended up starting with him through FOMO and kicking myself that I did, but thankfully we get to move off. There's a couple of trades planning on being happening this week. But yeah, Tino, I'll tell you what, last week lockout was 11:30 a.m. If it's any later, I might stop playing. But the minute it's open, Tino is gone. I said to the Discord, for anyone that's worked in an office setting or corporate or whatever, I put Tino on a PIP, which is a performance improvement plan. And he's got 80 minutes to prove himself, and he came off after the 22nd minute. And I already had PNC and HR writing his termination papers there and then.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be following you with Tino out the door this week. It's the old Adam Silver meme coming to real life. It's get ready to learn Chinese, buddy, because Tino will be off to the Shanghai Sharks quicker than anything this week.
Very niche reference on my Twitter. I just put Tino Fa'asua Malawi Ni Hao. And the ones that got it. So
One of Shaq's best. Matty, you've obviously had the best week of a lot of us, mate. Talk to us. What went well?
I
Everything?
I don't sit down to pee. So I didn't have a vice captain on Payne Haas. The Discord or people that watch all our captain shows. Oh, whoa. We'll get that reference. Sorry, I could only buy like the smallest crown because apparently they don't make enough crowns for adults.
Because Matrix isn't confident. He's gonna have to. He's not putting the money into it to like get the investment each year, so he's obviously not confident.
So had Payne Haas, but didn't captain him. Captain Nathan Cleary last week, so I had him for his 109. This week I captained Stephen Crichton. He's done good work for the boys here. And I had one vice captain on Sua Fa'alongo. So I hit panic stations after our show the other day, and I saw Scotty Drinkwater not goal kicking in the captain's run. So I brought in Sua. Real tough decision between Sua and Turbo, and it paid off. Vice captain Sua. I don't think Sua's ever someone I'll captain. But yeah, vice captain, definitely something I'll do. But yeah, everything went pretty well, really. Look, disappointed in your Pongers and your Keenies and your Walkers, but when you get that many big scores, I've got like all the cheapies and played them. Like I've got Noel Martin, I've got Lasardi. Obviously played Mooney, played Reid Marnie, which is a bit disappointed. But yeah, when you see your Rauchmans and your Howes and your Pezzets and even Faye Marnie and blokes like that on the bench, it's all looking up for Matrix Reloaded this year.
It's funny. This week was wild. It's the insert Jesse Pinkman. He can't keep getting away with this meme, and that's how I feel about Sua Fa'alongo at exactly the 60th minute when he's on 27 points every week. So,
yeah, it's another niche reference from you. I think people have come to learn that that's all you have is niche references. So,
but yeah, it's mid 2010 Vine references and some niche memes, but it is like for the 2 weeks in a row now, Sua Fa'alongo has been on not much and ends on a lot. And I can't wait to buy him next week, and he finishes on not much, and we don't get the junk at the end, so that's going to be great.
Yeah, that's all part of the game, isn't it, really? You buy the player that's done really well. People would have traded Scott Drinkwater to Kalen Ponga this week. That's obviously gone down a treat. A few injuries have hit some players as well, sadly. And I guess, last week, a lot of people on X more so than anything, because X is an interesting platform. They seem pretty vocal about not following big podcasters. Bloody big podcasters, they lead you astray all the time, but don't follow them because they're going to tell you not to trade in round one. And what you should do is you should trade. You should trade aggressively in round one. You've got to fix those problems. You should have gone Drinky straight to Ponga because that was a no-brainer pick, of course, and that worked out. And also, Atkinson to Sanders, fucking no-brainer trade. Like, that's just a really easy trade to make.
And Pezzett to Walker or Trindle or both.
Yeah. All of these are just no-brainer picks. Don't listen to big podcasters that tell you to hold trades because it's just they're just trying to navigate their own.
Don't listen to the people that have been here for 6 years, week in, week out, that don't fade away when it goes belly up. But anyway, hey, what do we know?
Fun. We have fun. I captained Turbo. I ended up trading Drinky to Turbo. The reason I did it is because I don't have a DNP for next week. I've got Miles Martin and Canberra play first, so I'm like, If I get myself a Manly player being Turbo, great, I can captain him because I like the matchup this week. And secondly, I'll have a loop option for next week. So, 88, I'm not upset with. I'll tell you who should be upset. Every Manly ticket holder. Because we'll talk about this game later, but I don't know whether diabolical is probably the word that I would use to describe that performance from Manly. I feel sorry for Turbo more than anything because that was just horrendous. We'll talk about that. And we'll give our real thoughts later if you thought that wasn't real. I'm sure we'll rip in a little bit harder. But let's have a chat about the heroes and zeros from round two.
Heroes and zeros.
Matrix, your hero for this week, who was it?
Sua Fa'alongo. I can't go past him. He was the highest scorer of the round, and he was king. Maybe I got lucky as I'm sitting here with 550k, and I last minute swapped Drinky out for Sua because I listened to the head noise. Maybe I did, but he's looked great in the first couple of weeks, and I had a lot of faith that the Dragons would be pretty bad. And I was pretty impressed with the Dragons to start off, and then Melbourne started running downhill. So yeah, like Sua, 3 tries, absolutely put to the sword. Really exciting. Like, a couple of tackle breaks and stuff in there. He's electric. So yeah, look, love watching him play. Has this high score by about 40 points this week. So it couldn't be anyone else.
Huge. Yeah, it's so nice when you nail the captain that well that you've got 80 more points than the next best player as your captain. So well played there.
And a pod. Like, he was only, what was he captain? He was not captain by many people.
Would have been like less than 2%. Yeah.
Yeah. 2.4% vice captain, 3% captain. So yeah.
Love that. Well played. Who's your hero, Josh, from round 2?
Take your pick of any of the Tigers' edges. Obviously, Adam Dewey, Jerome Luai were both fantastic, as was Samuel Afenu, as was Kai Pearce-Paul as well. So if you jumped on any of those Tigers pods, because they all were pods because of the round 1 bye, then absolutely fantastic. KPP with a 98, 109 for Samuela, 115 for both Dewey and Luai as well. So yeah, really, really good from them. Like, obviously, purely a vibes team from the Tigers, and again, take what you want from the opposition. But if you had any of those boys, then fantastic. I know that Dewey was a really popular option at 556. I think I really liked him if you were on Campbell and you couldn't quite get to Hines in the preseason with Campbell being ruled out, and then obviously Luai at 465 was always, we sort of spoke about him in the 5/8 preview. We were like, if you're going to take a punt somewhere, 5/8 might be the position. And if you don't want to go Cody because of the age, then, Luai for 60K more could be absolutely there. So again, not going to take too much from it because we do grow a second or third leg at Leichhardt. And obviously it was the Cowboys, who are very much not a good team, but signs were good there for both Dewey, Luai, KPP especially, and Samuela.
Yeah, huge. The Tigers were great. Mark here is asking us how many Tigers are we bringing in. My unserious answer is 12 in the next 4 weeks.
How many boosts can you use? 15? 15 and 5?
Yeah. I'll save one boost. We've got to be a bit responsible. Save one boost, but yeah, no. Serious answer is probably none this week, but I'd say there's every chance we could be targeting a couple of them the following week when they're on the bubble. So, yeah, definitely relevance, but we can hold off because of that round 1 bye. My hero, there was Nathan Cleary. There was Harry Grant. There was Payne Haas. And there was Kelma Tuolangi. 113 points for Kelma. And it's not even about Kelma Tuolangi with headgear. It's no headgear Kelma Tuolangi. I don't want a bar of Kelma Tuolangi with headgear on. Zero interest. But yeah, no headgear Kelma is a different beast. On a serious note, I don't even think he holds this spot. I think Jack Williams just goes back to an edge when Hopgood's back.
I'll reach out to Rugby League Fantasy Pro, use Insight 26 at checkout, 10% off. I'll make sure that we can get a filter in for players with and without headgear, because I saw that Sua lost his quite early into the game. I saw that Brian Toto took his off after the first try. So maybe there's like a really good PPM here with the headgear and then taking off mid-game. So
I reckon you're onto something there. I like it. I've seen Jerome Luai play and take his headgear off at different times when he's had to too. So I'm interested to see what those stats look like. Matrix, who's the 0 for this week?
Reed Marnie, he's just not getting the minutes that we thought, and Cowboys suck. So yeah, it kind of sucks to single out Reed Marnie in a disappointing Cowboys team. But at least if you're going to play for a team that sucks, play 80 minutes. That's what I've got. That's what I've got for Reed. Yeah, 41 again this week. I wasn't disappointed in Vegas because he'd at least played the 80 minutes. But yeah, if he's not going to be playing 80 minutes, Nihao.
Yeah, follow the trend. Josh, who's your 0 for this week?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty clear for me. It's Tino, like we heard in the preseason about how good he was going to be, with the pre-origin and the young forward pack, and obviously having Jermaine Jolliffe out. But it's just more.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
You tell him, Stephen A. That's how I feel. And I'm so annoyed because at the start of the show when he had that knee clean out, I was like, is there a chance? And then I sent you boys like some messages privately where someone messaged me at Titans training where he sort of picked up a knock 2 weeks before, and I was like, I can't get confirmation. Like, I'm not going to post this, but yeah, came off after 22 minutes. What did he play in the end? 47 minutes for a 50 score. He played 44 last week, and we put it down to maybe it's just under the post tax. There's no point to run him out there when belted. But the Titans were very much in this game and, played 22 minutes to start. Wasn't fantastic. Like, if he's playing 47 minutes for putting up, Terrell Maybe sort of BP numbers and PPM numbers and fantastic, but there's just no offloads. Like, there was 2 tackle busts. And this is like not my concern with Keon, for example, but like Keon at least gets the minutes. He doesn't quite get the offloads or doesn't quite get the tackle bust, but he'll make 20 runs a game and make 30 tackles, which will pump you at 65, 75. But if you're not playing the minutes and you don't have an offload in you, then what are we doing?
Yeah. No, look, I completely agree. The minutes are the concern, but even then, like the production wasn't massive.
Yes, his PPM's fine. His PPM's like a little bit over 1. But if you're only playing 47 minutes and you're working nearly 700K, like you need to be putting up 1.3, 1.35 type areas.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we didn't buy him for this. We bought him expecting a 70 and paying for a 70 and we're getting 50. So it's, I think he'll come into next week with a break even of probably 120, 125. It's just not a place that I'm willing to gamble. And plus, like, if he was a chance of putting up some more points, great. I'd probably hold through the cash because he's going to come good. But I don't even know whether the minutes are going to be there. And I don't really want to be hanging around to find out. My 0 this week, and maybe he'll be a replica on the chopping block, we'll find out. It's Angus Crichton. And it pains me to say this one, but two weeks back-to-back, a 54 in round 1 with a try and a 53 this week. Just frustrating. Very frustrating. I don't know how you guys feel. He got 30 tackles. He had 4 offloads to hand, 4 tackle breaks, 20 points in runs, and that's it. I just feel like maybe the BP was okay this week and we'll give him a pardon for last week, but it's really frustrating because I actually tipped him for a big year and I'm not going to say I'm wrong just yet. It's only round 2, but I don't know whether I want to hang around to find out the next 3 or 4 weeks until he gets into his work. How do you feel about the Roosters, Matty? I'd love to know your opinion on the Roosters in general because this probably circles around with Crichton and Walker and even Tedesco kind of going low this week.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm fine with Tedesco, but yeah, I don't know. They just seem a bit off. I think the scoring's affecting Sam Walker probably as much as Daly Cherry Evans being in the side. When they went both ways other years, Sam Walker seemed to have got involved, but they're just letting Daly look after that side. And look, Angus Crichton, honestly, I see lots of people in the chat talking about effort with like blokes like Arana Howe or whatever. I don't know. Angus Crichton, the effort didn't look there, or just like when he's getting tackled, his legs just still aren't pumping for him to get, over that 8 meters when he's running. That's probably eye test wise, as somebody that doesn't own him, eye test wise, he doesn't look that good. At least Sam Walker looks good out there. So I think that he is a better hold despite the worst scores. But Angus Crichton, the effort doesn't seem to be there. There's a plethora of cheapies, and then suddenly you've got like 300K there. I'm sad that people that have some of these guys just get bailed out by so many cheapies being there. But yeah, honestly, because the one that I had was Yo, and like he's mid, he's fine, a bit better than an Angus Crichton. But yeah, you just bail out, go to one of these cheapies and spend the money elsewhere, because I think these cheapies are fine to play. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I played Noah Martin this week. I think you would have got away. You would have been very happy if you played Lasardi. A lot of these guys are coming to the party. Obviously, Ryan Couchman's been huge as well. You could probably even play him at least the first 2 rounds before Jacob Little comes back. So, yeah, you're right. You probably do get bailed out at 2RF. Obviously, we won't go into too much depth on Sam Walker and Crichton this podcast, but I'm sure there'll be a topic of conversation throughout the week to come. Let's have a chat. Sorry,
on Crichton, I think on face value, he's fine, right? Like, you paid for a 61 with high upside, you got a 53 in base. That's not the issue for me. What the issue is the plethora of options that are cheaper doing it. Like, if you looked at him purely from a player profile and said, we know what the ceiling is with Angus Crichton, he's priced at 61, and he's got a 53 in pure base, you're like, sweet, that's great. Same thing with Yo. Yo's actually outperforming someone like Herbie in terms of point per dollar. But the problem is that there's guys that are 300-400K cheaper doing the same, if not better. So you're looking at it from a landscape perspective. You're like, well, what's the point? Like, even Couch or even Rauchman off the bench is playing 40 to 50 minutes and putting up an incredible PPM. Lasardi's an absolute god. Noah Martin's a freak. Like, why have these guys? Even like a Ramahau, like 53 points today in 80 minutes. So looking at the wider landscape, that's where the concern starts to lie with these guys.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Completely fair. And I think the Sam Walker conversation, it's like, you know, can you push off one more week and then get Dewey in round 4? Like that's probably an option if you wanted to get off Walker. You've got an extra week there to worry about it, and you don't have to kind of, you know, factor that into next week's trades because Walker's been fine and he's been involved. It's more just the scoring hasn't gone in his favour.
Yeah, same with Walker. Like, you know, he's looked terrible, but he's put up 50-50. Yeah. And the goal kicking really helps him. And, you know, like when the game clicks, it's going to be huge. Again, problem is Cleary's put up 100. Hines put up 140 last week. Dewey just put up 115. Like, that's where, again, what wider landscape of players in that position.
Yeah, exactly. We've pretty much covered chopping block. I think everybody knows that we're probably looking to get off Marnie, Tino, Gus, Walker potentially. So we can skip that. But let's have a chat about who we missed because there's a fair few I think we missed.
The one you may have missed.
You want to kick us off, Josh? Who's the one player that you missed out this week?
Yeah, it's probably why the man on my right is so smug. It is Suafa-Alongo, and I'm going to have to lick my wounds. At about the 20th minute of the Newcastle game, I was like, I've got no idea how I'm going to get Suafa-Alongo in. Luckily bailed out, and luckily I didn't spend multiple trades to get Ponga in, but yeah, it's definitely Fa-Alongo for me. Again, Lukey put up, 57 in BP. We saw Rauchman do incredible things once again. So they're the guys for me. And then one particular handsome English centre that I really don't enjoy my mental health watching Titans games not owning because I can't believe I'm sitting here cheering for a 78. Like, that's good.
Yeah, that's fair. Matty, who'd you miss this week? Anybody?
Oh,
you probably got them all.
Yeah. Honestly, didn't really miss too much. I could probably say Turbo. I thought in a team that looked awful, 88 was flattering and his effort was right up there. I think if you're getting beaten that badly and you're still putting up 88s, that's hitting some real alarm bells that you could, you probably are teetering towards must own at that 690. It's an awkward price, but after 104 and 88, he's going to make money. We've got another week to think about it with the buy. We've got another week to find out what's going on with Ponga if you're that way inclined. But like Keeney doesn't seem to be the right guy. Sua seems to be, and maybe Turbo is your trade in for one of these guys.
I'm really interested to see what happens with Keeney because his stats with and without Jaden Campbell are quite evident. I think was the reason why I ended up jumping off him last minute because his stats without JC weren't fantastic. So I still think he's an option. I was like chatting with someone on Twitter. I wasn't sure if they were being a smart ass because last week they said, "Oh, like, do you think Sua's a must have?" And I said no. And they were like, "Oh, what do you think about now?" And I was like, "Still no." Like, I don't think any fullback is like genuinely must have unless you're 2021 Turbo, because there's so many guys like. I said this before the injury, but Ponga had just scored 100 and looked unreal. Turbo had just scored 100 and looked unreal. Like Teddy scored 100 and then scored 70 doing absolutely nothing as well. Like there's so many of these guys that could pop off, but obviously, Sua looks like the standout in the class right now and the money-making potential of him is ridiculous. I think the most important thing, Brano, is like backing up round one performance with a round two performance because we speak about it quite openly that round one scores really mean nothing in terms of the grand scheme of things. We spoke about if Drinkwater scored 80 on the weekend, then he's break even heading into like 2 weeks' time with only 65. So the round one score is irrelevant, but if you can stack those together, that's when you can really pile on that negative BP pressure.
And look, if he goes big again next week, there is 200k on the table in a fortnight.
850, 900 in a matter of 5 weeks.
Yeah, and that's when he becomes probably a must-have, or at least a conversation. You can get up to that premium price point very quickly with him. So yeah, I completely understand. He's a guy I'll be looking to target next week. My one I may have missed. I feel like I want to mention this one first from Max Wilson in the chat. Yes. Another successful Herbie fade.
Absolutely, barely. It was.
We'll take it. We'll take it as non-owners. A 79 is an absolute win for non-owners.
They paid for an 84 and then he got a 79. What bums.
Yeah.
Tell
you what, though.
Yeah, I paid 61 for Isaiah Yeo and he gets 62. So, like, who's the real winner?
Not us. But on a serious note, Herbie just shits points. He just shits points. And I was watching the game and I'm thinking every set that they got through where the ball didn't go left, I'm like, fuck yeah, that's a win. And I was just sitting there ticking them off every time he didn't touch the ball. And whenever you have to do that for a play, you know they're elite. You know they're good. You know, like he is a guy that will just he had 74 in BP in this game with a forced dropout at the end of halftime. And that's a win for us. Like that just shows how good Herbie Farnworth is. And I think we've got bailed out massively. This is the matchup that everybody was targeting. This was the matchup I nearly bought him for because I was needing a captaincy option at the back end of the week. I went with Turbo, thankfully, which got me an extra 10 points. But at the same time, I'll tell you what, that was not a fun fade. And he'll be a guy that I'll be looking to get in the next probably 3 to 4 weeks.
If anyone can put me in touch with Jojo Fafita, let me know because I owe him a Christmas card or two because it could have been a whole lot worse, well,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And the actual one that I missed is Nathan Cleary. I think you're both owners. I'm not. 109 for him. He did it so easily as well. Like I remember just not last night. He was on 110 or something with like 20 minutes to go, and I go, "Fuck this! I'm turning this off." I'll wake up to the consequences in the morning. Thankfully, he didn't do anything in that final 20, but like. He's just so good, you know. Like he just accumulates better than any other half in the game. Nico's great. Don't get me wrong, but. I'm happy to say that, yeah, initially we were looking at his matchups and thinking, fuck, it's not as bad as we first thought. I faded him to Sam Walker to try and free cash up to get Tino. So that's worked beautifully for me. Shout out to me. But he is a guy I will be targeting ASAP. I don't care about the draw or the matchups. He's just shown us against we talked to him about him throughout the week, the Sharks being the spine killers and the team that last year shut down a lot of the main key playmakers in those teams and were a pretty good defensive matchup. And this year, obviously, he's gone out and put up 109 on his dick. So, yeah, a guy that I won't be fading any longer. I think I'll be doing everything I can to get him in this coming week. And I'll join yous and hopefully not curse him. That's the main thing. All right, let's have a chat about the game.
Rapid fire recap.
So I just want to update my score because I got the very favourable update of 2 points. So just make sure. Yeah.
Where's my update?
As I said to you, I was down in my $500 cash comp by a point, and now I got a 2 point update. So we're back in front by a point, baby.
Hey, love that. I'm still not updated. So
shout out to Daniel of the Maris Pillars. If you're listening to this, I am sorry for doing you dirty.
Yeah, that's rough. Nothing worse than losing. I hope and we saw Brayley get updated Monday morning.
No.
So
after 3 hours. After 3 hours, updates are done.
Them's the rules. Matrix, your boys.
Yep.
Not great. Talk to us.
Can I tell you, after losing at Parramatta, it's a long 2-hour drive home on a Thursday night. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. You are the biggest Manly fan after today because you might be out of the headlines for a week after that.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably out of. Oh man, like we just. And Reynolds is injured now. But yeah, I mean, we can score points, and that's good. But Shibasaki better pull a finger out, or he will be sacked by. He will be, playing Reggie's. He'll be playing for the North Devils. Come round 5. Just awful.
Defensively, pretty poor.
Yeah, Mitchell Moses was the best player on the park. There was no strike from really far when it come to the Broncos. They just made silly errors and then let them into the 20, the red zone, and they kept scoring on us. Even like that little penalty, which really there was a try right at the end, but that penalty had them up by 2, where like Renault or the halfback or whoever was supposed to be standing there just didn't get back and gave him a penalty right in front in a really close game. Just ill discipline and not something you usually see from a Madge coach team. So anyway, on to next week.
Grant Anderson season incoming. Hey, look, Shibasaki can open the door for him potentially.
We're a big Grant Anderson podcast, so we would love that. As you guys know, I do my sort of weekly takeaways post on a Monday, and I've never seen two edges look so poor. Like Jack G and Ezra looked terrible, and then that Parramatta left edge, as we discussed last week, looked terrible as well. Like it's just both these teams ill-disciplined, and if you're ill-disciplined in the 6 again era, you're going to get punished. That's why Melbourne and Penrith are just going to be the two best teams once again. But yeah, this was a tough watch. Like just really, really tough. Reynolds really trying, to be fit for next week. Again, like Reece Walsh's stats may look incredible in a very short sample size, but he actually only averages about 67 without Reynolds in the side. I know that people will look at last year's and go, but he did it. I'm looking at like a 33 game sample size where he averages, mid 60s. So I'm not sure I'd rush to buy Reece Walsh. I know that they have like one of the greatest draws on paper from round 4, but like I'd need to see it before I took the plunge, especially when you've got like Turbo, Sewer, and then take your pick of like what other fullback you want to put in there, like to unseat that link up. But apart from that, it was good to see that the base reverted back to the mean. There was like a lot of panic over Payne Haas. There was a lot of panic over Pat Carrigan. Both those guys put up north of 70. Even Corey Jensen put up 63. Tony Staggs didn't even crack 60 with 2 tries. That's a bit how you going. Of course, Kelmer, love the memes. Iongi, he's been really good. Iongi's been good for the first 2 weeks of the season. I feel like he's not a guy that anyone will buy because of just like pedigree and name, but I saw him floating around in a couple of teams in the preseason, so shout out if you went from him. But the man of the hour, 6,267 trade outs for Jonah Pezzett, 3 try assists. Had to do a lot for 82, but the 82 in round 2 is much better than Ethan Sanders' 100 in round 1. So shows you the value of a round 2 trade, a round 2 score. So well done if you did hold him. But this game was a game, wasn't it?
Sure was, absolutely.
The game was 72 points. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scores over 80, and then that was about it. So
Warra scoring, as you'd say. But you said Mitchell Moses was the best player on the field. I think that's really rude of no headgear Kelma Tuolangi anyway. And also maybe Jordan Ricky would improve if he took his headgear off. That's probably my only talking point from this game.
I might text him now because
Jordan Ricky with headgear just looks weird.
Yeah,
he's too pretty of a man to be wearing headgear. Like it's like
Jono, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like he's tried to make the headgear ugly as well. So he's the armadillo himself. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
The headgear actually morphs to the style of person you are.
It does. The Warriors absolutely flogged the Raiders here at home, and it just goes to show how good of a team they are at home. 40 points on the Raiders. Raiders are a relatively good defensive team for the most part, at least last year they were. So, some maybe changing of the guard here. I tell you what, though, Leka Halasima is a very interesting prospect moving forward now. Obviously, the injury to Kurt Capewell, he's busted a calf, so it looks like there's minutes on that left edge up for grabs, and Leka got the start. Obviously, that was done in the warm-up for Capewell, so he's an interesting one, Josh. I know you've got some stats, I'll leave them to you, but he was great in this one. Jackson Ford was also immense. Like, he just continues to fly under the radar, Jackson Ford, as a guy who, when he gets minutes, just puts up 70s in BP. Like, he's a beast. He's very underrated SuperCoach player. And Tanner Boyd, just how good's he been? For first 2 games, obviously he's got big shoes to fill with Luke Metcalf out, but he's doing a fantastic job when the Warriors can put up 40 and 30 in consecutive weeks, and he's been at the front of it. Josh Halasima, interesting one moving forward, considering his numbers when he gets minutes look pretty good.
Yeah, like Leka, we spoke about him in the preseason because he was quite popular. I think he was like 15%, but like always worried about the minutes because you could never sort of play a big motor. But the thing that I was really, really intrigued by and the things that raised my eyebrows were obviously Kate were going down, like coming into the start. And that would say to me that like, our bench rotation looks a bit weird, like we'll play our edges 80 minutes, but he still played 80 over Laban. Like Laban played 65, which was up from last week, but still entrusted to play 80. And in the games that Leka has played 80 on an edge, he averages 69.2. I think he's like 550 odd. Like I think he's mid 500. So kind of that awkward price, but 500-ish there. Sweet. So yeah, he's averaging 70 in, I think it was 11 games. That includes this 105. But a guy with just so much attacking output in New Zealand seems to grow like, an extra inch or two in terms of like he's just size on the field and just how big he looks against defenders. But yeah, the fact that he played 80, Laban didn't with Capewell out. Like I would imagine a torn calf is quite a substantial injury in terms of time on the sideline. But yeah, pretty much nearly a 70 average. I think he could be a serious option. I think if you don't have to boost this week to like get a Rauchman or fix up Marnie or get a Sewer, like there's a world where you go Leka because he might not be pod in terms of ownership because a lot of people probably like casual players still had him, but I would imagine amongst the engaged coaches, yeah, he's an incredible pod. And I think at an average of 69.2 with this Warrior side that look as good as they do, then fantastic. I want to know what I missed, because on Friday nights at 7:30, I have chess lessons and I missed the entire second half. I had a bet on this game. I checked my account and I won. And I was like, I bet the overs in this game. What happened? Because it was like 8-6 at halftime. And then I put a tweet out that said Noah Martin might be the greatest player of all time. Didn't watch the second half, and I had a lot of Warriors fans say Lecker owns Noah Martin. So did obviously Lecker just run riot over Noah Martin?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he just kind of tore that edge up. A couple of bad reads outside in though as well. Like, I don't think it was all on Noah Martin. I think he was pretty gassed, to be fair. I think we all noticed when we were in the chat, like 50, 55 minutes, Noah Martin was gassed. He was struggling for air. So I the fact that he actually played 80 is interesting. I didn't think he'd get through it. So that just goes to show what they think of him out there. Matty, Warriors, obviously when they're winning, it's good for the NRL. Raiders, poor in this one. What do you take from it from a SuperCoach perspective?
Yeah, it's funny. Like that first, daylight savings is great. I was still at work till probably 30 minutes into the first half, listened to the rest on the radio on the drive home. And yeah, I mean, they're just such an exciting attacking team, and 2 40s in a row. And as I have a look at the team, I don't own anybody from the Warriors because I didn't really know what to make of them in the preseason. I think I'm just going to have to revisit that. I enjoyed what I saw highlight-wise from Ali Leata'a as well. Had him in draft and went back and watched a little bit of it. But I mean, Josh is right. Noah Martin, like, you can't not look past him at the moment. He is must-have. Like, I don't care about saying it. Like, at 250K, putting up 66 in base, everybody sort of there was a few cracks about my post about it, basically because there was a typo saying that they was playing the Roosters. But yeah, look, if they were targeting him and they eventually got through, but it did, make a lot of base for Noah Martin. So if they keep targeting him, there's going to be a lot of tackles made, and always looks good in attack. So
also looks super lively. Like I didn't play him this week because I was questioning like the base because it was very inflated from last week. But like even in the first half, the half that I watched, like there's probably 2 or 3 times where he ran a really, really big line and was so close to getting through, or like put his hand up for a kick and it never came and he was like through it. So again, like I probably won't play him until I can see what a Matt Timoko looks like. But if Timoko is like not playing and it is Simi Sasagi, then fantastic. But off the back of a 40-6 defeat, I'm curious to see what Ricky rolls out at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. But if this is the same team, then there's no reason why I'm not starting on Martin next week.
Yeah, completely agree. Must have as a purchase, and then very playable moving forward as well. And thanks to P Monkey for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Roosters, Rabbitohs, 26-18. This was the game, of course, that everyone was looking for. The big golden 2 on the back for Alex Johnston breaking the record. Obviously, we're a SuperCoach podcast, but thoughts on if you think that people shouldn't have stormed the field.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that was the best thing that we've seen in rugby league for a very long time. It just needed to happen. It was something that needed to be celebrated. It was a big, monumentous moment. So, like, you can't just sit back and clap in your chair, can you? Like, surely.
No, I guess for anyone that doesn't follow AFL, like go Google Buddy Franklin's 1000th goal from 2022. Like that's what it is. Like it's just, I think it was so good because it happened so far away as well. Like if it happened like 15 meters out on a sweep play, you're like, oh, but the fact that it was second tackle off the kickoff, Fafita like broke 3 tackles, hit Trell like with 70 meters to go, and then you got to see AJ like streak for about 45 meters, and it just built the intensity. Shout out to the Roosters fan who got everything happening. Also disappointed. Albanese stole the field to try to aura farm. Look, not going to make my political decisions known because I enjoy monetization. Was disappointed that I didn't see a random Javo 99.
Oh yeah,
the stage was set for Javo 99.
Well, you wouldn't have noticed him because that's what he does.
But also, speaking about Albo aura farming, AJ aura farming with the gold number, that's kind of tough.
Yeah. Rate the gold number jersey.
Just the swap, like
it was slicked. Yeah, it was slick. Yeah, obviously having the break in play was great. Will AJ wear the gold number 2 for the rest of his career? I doubt it.
Imagine.
So I'd be framing
I
that
would.
shit. Yeah, I'd be framing it, and
Yeah,
no one
I
would
would
touch
too.
it ever again.
I would wear a gold number 2 every week, and I don't care if I lose every game for the rest of my career. I just feel like I'm him.
Fair. Supercoach wise,
what I did love was all the English fans trying to claim that some like random guy who played like park football against a bunch of like sticks and stones like scored like 1,000 tries. Like that's some real Pele stuff that like no one saw. It's big Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. Oh, it happened. We just didn't see it.
Yeah, no
Nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah, it was black and white TV. Matrix, the Rabbitohs obviously fell short in this one, but AJ's record kind of makes it better. For SuperCoach perspective, though, Latrell Mitchell was immense again in this one. He was so good, wasn't he?
How great is it that we got gifted cheap Latrell and cheap David Fafita? Like,
yeah.
I don't get it if you faded these two, but you probably need to fix that this week. If you don't, they both look great. Rabbitohs attack just comes from them, and if I was a half or if I was a coach, like you would be getting these guys the ball as much as you could. Like David Fafita just must have, I don't know, hated the Gold Coast Titans because we hadn't seen that for a year. But yeah, look, I just think if you didn't own one of those guys, you just need to fix it. That's my advice for Latrell Mitchell and David Fafita non-owners.
Yeah, and I think people panicking about the Roosters. You got a fair right to panic. I think they've been pretty ordinary the first 2 weeks, but again, from a SuperCoach scoring perspective, no one. I mean, DCE was the top scorer at 78, and then everybody else was 67 and under, which is really unlike the Roosters when they put up 26 points. So yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's like if you can move on your Crichtons, your Walkers, and whoever, it's a luxury trade for sure. I'm sure other people probably have bigger problems in maybe Kalen Ponga or Tino. I'd consider a bigger trade than either of those two. But if you have the luxury, I'd be open to moving them both. Keon again was great, 66 points for him. So just continues to churn out massive BP, and I think he'll probably do that all season. So there are many worse picks, Josh, than having Keon as your front row forward too.
Nah, I don't know. Like maybe I'm just entitled, but I don't think he's going to tackle us. I don't think he's going to tackle us in 2 games. He may have 1 offload. So I'm like, can we just pick that up? That'd be really great. On Fafita, and I guess Trell to that extent as well. If you didn't get them and you had 3 other fires to put out next week, like how much would you pay for Trell? Like, are you okay paying, what is he now, 682? Are you okay paying, or 626? Are you okay paying like 670 for Trell? And are you okay paying like 520 for Fafita if you miss them next week?
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. Sweet. Yeah, there was a couple of questions in the chat. It's like, do I have to get them next week or can it wait until round 5? I think it can wait until 5.
It can wait. Yeah, for sure.
I think there's easily 10 points of value in all these guys. So yeah, you're looking at 100K. So
yeah, and I think also the round 4 buy just gives you that extra flexibility to wait until 5. Like especially when depending on how many Rabbitohs you already have too, right? You might already have Cody Walker. You might already started with Cam Murray, who I know is popular. So like you've only got so many Rabbitohs. I think you're going to have to wait on a few of them until at least their buy's finished.
Also lets you grab a couple of Tigers in 4 and then a couple of Bunnies in 5 if you didn't jump on those guys as well. So you can sort of go back to back as well.
Yeah, good shout. Quiet game here for Cody Walker, Matrix. Obviously this is what you get with Cody Walker. You've signed up for the fact he's going to get you 100 and he's going to get you 30 and he averages 65.
Yeah, 100%. Like I knew what I was getting myself into when I bought Cody Walker. I've also paid for a 39, got a 34 this week and got a 100 last week. Like that's the way that I play SuperCoach. So I'm happy. His score would have dropped out for me if I didn't VC loop, and yeah, honestly, it was worth it. So
I think Cody Walker was a fine start. I just could not understand the trading. I think we spoke about that on Wednesday's show. Like buying him made no sense to me.
It was when it's also because Pezzett in such a poor team. We had 1 sample game. We knew he was good at the Storm. It felt like a hasty trade. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see what the owners have to do about that. But
I genuinely think Pezzett will average like 40. Like
strap Matrix, sit down, get ready.
We are so back. I don't see a world where we don't go 24-0. Like I just don't see how we ever lose another football game again.
I love it. I love the overreaction. As we do every year when we win one game, it's, you got to celebrate the little wins. But on a serious note, if we weren't talking about a team who was coming off 3 spoons and, was average last year at best, the Tigers looked impressive. Again, they came up against a hapless Cowboys team, though, that looked really poor. And
absolutely,
Tigers for the top 16. I'm here
100% top 16.
Yeah.
I genuinely, and I want to know in the chat, like, are the Tigers your second team? I feel like they're everyone's second team.
Yeah.
Vibes are so high.
Yeah, absolutely. I obviously it was great to see Dewey and Luai put up a really nice partnership, great connection. They just worked really well together. They put up great SuperCoach scores. I'm sure they're going to be in the eyes of a lot of SuperCoaches come round 4. The beauty of the Tigers is we can wait a week as well. And we overreact to the Cowboys. I mean, yeah, obviously, when we come up against a good team, we're just working our way into the season. But when we come up against a really shit team, we're winning the whole thing. Kai Pearce-Paul, Matty, like the top guys are obviously obvious. The Deweys of the world, and Luai is great. But Kai Pearce-Paul at his price point is going to be a really interesting pivot move for a lot of people in round 4, considering there's a lot of 2 RFs to get off. And if you want a primo guy, he looked the goods. And that offloading, I think, is probably going to get unlocked with Benji. He's going to have a lot more freedom in attack to be able to do the things that he's kind of maybe been hamstrung by a little bit when he was at the Knights.
Yeah, I kind of wish he didn't. Did he score 2 tries? Yeah, kind of wish he didn't score 2 tries to have a look at his score. But I mean, the fact that he's now apparently got try scoring ability, that's great. I'm tempering expectations because of the couple tries, but genuinely think 65 averages is in the realm. Like, the guy looked great. So yeah, I know he's sort of priced at a 58 or whatever. And yeah, I think 65, like there's a bit of value there, and he is going to be scoring. I'm just not going to go early on one game against the Cowboys, but looked unreal. Like, I love him.
He's great. And we know Josh loves him. So
like, there was a reason why I was so keen coming from the Super League, and not like from a SuperCoach standpoint, but like just from a footy standpoint. Like, he just profiled really well, like a really rangy back rower that like had good movement, really good physical contact, like silky hands as well, like great ball player. Like, I was just really upset that we never got to see that at the Knights. And I feel like people were like, "Do you know Super League ball?" And I was like, "No, I do. I promise. It's just Adam O'Brien sucks." But super glad that. Yeah, he's playing good footy at the Tigers. I think having Dewey there will like really help him, and having like Taylor when he's back as well, like outside of him, will help as well. So
big time.
Shout out Tigers, big Tigers podcast.
The Tigers.
Yeah. And I feel like people were panicking, but he scored 50 points in BP in his first game in the centres. Like, he's fine.
That's great.
Yeah, went down with an ankle or what looked like a lower limb thing, but like I think he just got jammed up a little bit in a tackle. So apparently all good. I mean, we would have heard from physio, I'm sure, very, very quickly on a Macassini injury. So keep an eye out on the Magic Sponge podcast. I think they release it late tonight or early tomorrow morning if you really want to get the lowdown on that. Terrell May was also great, just offloading at will. Seems like he can get a hand free in nearly everything. So, big interest in Terrell May come round 4 as well.
I thought Buller looked pretty good. I know you guys aren't Buller truthers, but I thought he was really good in this one.
He was all right.
Yeah, he has moments. All right. Elephant in the room. Chester 74, Purdue 73. Amazing. Love those boys. Thank you. Scott Drinkwater, 2 try assists, 0 goals. So again, I guess sellers were rewarded. If you were a seller to KP, it's a bit tough. If you're a seller to still far longer, fucking wheels up.
Players?
And we were a big sell podcast on the proviso that he didn't goal kick. Like, and then they put out bit vision. Like, there was enough doubt, right? So there was like vision of like Clifford kicking at captain's run and whatnot to sell. So if you did sell, fantastic. If you held, it's not the end of the world. I don't think. Like, it's 60 points. Like, it's not terrible.
Nah. I think if you held, you could sleep at night knowing that he got 58. If it was a 20, you'd be.
But also, upset. like I feel like people, like, they go, "Oh, he's got a massive BE." Like, are you telling me Scott Drinkwater at any point in the season is not going to hit 793K? Like, I don't think that's not happening. Like, there'll be a time where he'll just go 130, 120, 130.
You just got to time it right. He always does. He always goes on runs. It's just about when you get on him, that's for sure. Hillam Lukey with the 57's pretty solid as well for the most part. He was a guy that people went early on last week. He'll also be in the conversation, I'm sure, when we're talking buy, hold, sell this week. And I think there was a question in here from Fresh Prince on any news on Taylor May. Apparently, so he subluxed his shoulder. So popped out, popped straight back in, apparently, but it looked pretty sore. So I'm sure we'll find out soon. It's going to be one of those Dylan Lucas injuries, isn't it? It's from last year. It's going to be the popped out and in, and it's going to be a ticking time bomb all season, and it's going to be a tricky spot.
3 weeks for Matty Nicholson, who then did his again. So yeah, it's just it is what it is. I think if you get word it's 2 weeks, I think he's a hold until he dies. If it's any longer, I'd probably just jump off.
Yeah, because he relies so much on like high BP and high contact as well. Like it just makes it tough. But let's talk Storm Dragons, Matty. 46-20. Storm ran over him again. Your boy went large. For some reason, my guy's not my far longo's not purple, which is I don't know. I'm going to have to contact SuperCoach about that one. That's a bit strange. But Harry Grant with another 108. He just continues to put up attack, doesn't he? He's looked good.
Yeah, and bringing in some of these Storm guys are just backing that the Storm are a better team than most. And I actually full credit to the boys when it comes to the Dragons for the start of this. I thought they really stayed in it well, better than I thought. And I was a nervous owner of like your Lasardis and Faolongo and Harry Grant and Leo. I kind of got bailed out with Leo right at the end, but when there's 46 points scored by the Storm, there's going to be plenty of attack. But one thing that did impress me is your boy Stefano Brano. You shared him out a couple of weeks ago that you were interested in him. Like I was driving to the pub for some of this, and I'm like looking. I was like, did Stefano score a try? No, he didn't. He's just unreal.
Just incredible numbers. Like we saw that Brano like the back end of last season, didn't we? Like when Bellamy gave him minutes, he's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I was going to give a really hot take to say that like people looking to sell Angus to Terrell May. I'd rather dollar-wise go to Stefano, but I would love to look 1 week with Trent Liera back in the rotation.
Yeah, that's the only concern for me is what the minutes look like when Trent's back. But look, yeah, you can have a look. It's not like he's going to get out of price range. Like he's still cheap. He's only like 510K or something. So you can take a look, have another look for a week, sacrifice 40, 50K, whatever he ends up going up, and then make your call in round 4. Yeah, but aside from that, Lasardi's been elite. Definitely, if you've got a Lasardi versus Chan, Lasardi is the play over Chan. At the same time, they'll both make money, but Lasardi's been elite. And looks like, sadly, Sean Blaw's gone down in New South Wales Cup. So that role looks pretty solid.
I was going to say, can you please not give away my content? I know you haven't seen it, so you've got no idea what I'm talking about. But I've got a slide in my weekly takeaways, and the title is "There should be there is no longer a sit-start question." I end up talking about Chan versus Lasardi. So what a guy. He did cop a knee injury and had it strapped just before halftime. So one to watch there, but yeah, ripped out like a 77 BP, like machine. And yeah, Sean Blaw, like very early in cup, picked up a leg knock.
First round.
Yeah, I had concerns over Sean Blaw, like featuring just in general. But I think this like solidifies it now. So if you don't have Lasardi, you will next week, and you'll play him every week. So he's a guy. He is a guy.
He's more than a guy. Yeah, you can't undersell him.
He's a 270K guy that's just going to rip you out numbers, and I absolutely love that. Speaking of 270K guys that are going to rip out numbers, Mr. R. Couchman, 69 again. What a man.
Don't you have him, Brano? Don't you have him, Josh? Jeez.
No, I don't. No. I went with the approach of I'm going to start with Laban, Chan, Lasardi, and 2 of them are going to suck. Unfortunately, like only one of them sucked, and one of them's like kind of average. So now I'm like, oh, do I need Rachman? But I think I do. In weeks where I'm really, really handcuffed with like 5 Rabbitohs on a bye, I've got no issue playing Rachman, even if he rips out like a 55.
Yeah, I guess the one thing maybe people need to be a little bit cautious on is Toby Couchman went down with an injury and apparently limped off after his first spell. Didn't come back on until like 10 minutes left in the game. So his minutes were definitely down on what you would expect him to play. I think he's usually a 55-minute guy. Only ended up, what did he play? Sub 45 minutes, I think, in this one. So, yeah, that's probably the one thing is that obviously maybe there's a little bit of a bump in minutes there for Ryan Couchman because his brother obviously didn't play the minutes he would have normally been allocated. We don't get a look at Jacob Little, so we don't see what Damien Cook looks like in the 13. Those are the only 2, I guess, let's call them orange flags. They're not even red. But at the same time, I think Ryan Couchman's good enough to play 40 to 45 minutes at an absolute worst case and churn you out 55.
He's significantly better than Emery Gawler. He's significantly better than Josh Kerr. He's he's significantly better than Toby Catchment. I'm just gonna say, like, he's the premier front row forward in this team. Like, he is special. A lot of questions in the chat about can you only get one, Lasardi or Rachman? Lasardi. I just always taking minutes over production. Like,
For sure.
roll over points. But yeah, like, Rachman's so good. Also, shout out to the one and only L.A. Lua, just putting out a cool 62, just a cool 20 points of value. That one be on the back paper tomorrow. No one will talk about it. It'll be fish wrapper. But what a guy.
Yeah, agreed. Fresh Prince saying the new six-man bench.
Lukey this, Lukey that. It's actually Lucci.
Yeah, I think they were trying to say Lucci, but they just didn't know the pronunciation. So the new six-man bench scares me. If a half goes down, is there a risk Rauchman doesn't go on? He's the first man off the bench. Both of the games he's played, so no, he's locked in. Let's have a chat about Panthers Sharks. Panthers ran all over him and just grinded him out of the game as the Panthers do, and I think you're going to see a lot more of that this year.
The Panthers are so boring, but they're so good.
They're just clinical. They just kick to corners. They grind you out of the game. They park you in your own end 5-6 minutes at a time. They then get the advantage. They get a couple of set replays, resets, and they just run all over you. So, and that's exactly what they did in this one as well. They actually kept Nico out of the game really well as well. I think that's probably the key when you're playing the Sharks, is just getting the ball away from Nico and just keeping him out of the game and putting a lot of defensive pressure on him, which they did to a T. So game plan elite, 26-6, probably didn't do it service in terms of the score. It should have been larger based on how much they dominated, but Nathan Cleary, 109. If you don't have him, I think you need to seriously consider getting him next week. Fine. And the beauty of it is we should all have cash, Matty. We should all be flush with cash with all these amazing cheapies that we're going to be targeting next week. Most people will probably be ripping a boost, and one of those trades probably should be Nathan Cleary if you don't have him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a treat to own the first couple of weeks. I just want to say a suffocating win from the Panthers. But one of the big news coming out of this is the interview afterwards, where Isaiah Yeo looks like he won't be playing that 80-minute role, which is why a lot of us have him in our teams. So yeah, not a panic trade by all means. A lot of people probably have bigger fish to fry because he's been scoring at value. You had a break even of 63, scored 63. So you're getting what you paid for. There's been plenty of concerns in everyone's team, but yeah, one to watch. I thought there was 10 points of value here for Yo, and yeah, it just doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, there was talk from Nathan of the Cleary variety about when Jack Hogg is in the team, then it takes pressure off Isaiah Yo, and Father Time remains undefeated in terms of like workload, so they're bringing him off it. But if you do have Isaiah Yo, if you've got like Tino and Isaiah Yo, like Tino's a bigger trade out. One, because he sucks, and two, Jack Hogger Cat 1 HIA, so 11-day stand down. Yeah. So if they do have to roll Isaiah Yo out for 80 minutes, like it's not the end of the world next week. But yeah, can we just highlight our Lord and Savior? I'm not a religious man, but I am religious to one Isaiah Papali'i. What a guy. What a guy. I love this man so much. 69 BP, the most boring 69 of your life, has attacking upside. He's been cucked about 4 times this season in terms of like when the attack comes, I love him. I mean, he's doing what Rauchman does for 300k more, but hey, we'll take it. Nice little jewel for IPAP as well. Over to the Sharks. You were right about sort of really suffocating Nico. I just want to owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game to Jesse Colquhoun. So shout out to Jesse Colquhoun. Good score from him. First good score he's ever put in his career. So well done. Again, like I rate Jesse Colquhoun as a fantastic player. He's just never been ideal for SuperCoach, but good minutes and good workload. I can see something on the screen. Most boring 6-9 of your life, Josh. You wouldn't know. Yeah, no, agreed. I am a massive virgin. I talk about SuperCoach for a semi-living. That tells you the activities of my sex life. It is not good. Britton Nicoral 66, Blake Brayley 60. Let's have this chat, Mr. Brain, because we have one headgeared fraud playing hooker. He can't even play 80 minutes. And we've got a nice, shiny Blake Brayley who put up 60 points in a team that got battered. Mm-hmm. It seems like the most obvious move, especially when we have about $4 million in the cap. But do you want to be ripping a boost for a hooker trade? It feels very vanilla.
Nah, that's exactly what I was just about to say. Like the hooker trade is just not, especially when we've got so many 2RFs we're going to need to grab. You got maybe a halfback trade if you got Walker or you're stuck there. You've got centre wings. It seems okay for now, but you've probably got a fullback problem, right? You've got Kalen Ponga. You've got Turbo on a bye. Like, a lot of people are going to be scrambling to get Saufalongo if they don't have him yet. So I don't know. I just feel like hooker is the least of my problems. Maybe it's just my team. Maybe everybody else is running sweet. Probably based on my rank, that's probably true. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a luxury trade for sure.
But then that comes to a psychology question though, because like you're like reserving a 235k Rachman over a 420k Marnie. That's where you're like, oh, this feels like a waste.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, so am I. But I'm like, well, can we do better things with it? Like, do we just enough money then?
Yeah, no, just go to cheese early or something if you needed to. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like it's a future problem, future Nathan problem. I'll sort that out in a few rounds.
Obviously, we're all big brain SuperCoach players and we know everything. But there might be some minnows out there that don't know everything like we do, of course. Would you rip a boost for Marnie to Grant?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. There's been like 5 questions in the chat, so hopefully that answers it for all you guys.
Yeah.
And also shout out to SuperCoach 2026 for telling us that he had Max Gawn, Tristan Jerry, McAndrew, and Tim English. Thanks.
Fuck yeah. Well played, mate.
Yeah,
Very
cool.
good.
Well
Wrong,
done.
Wrong show, but
I didn't.
Great scores.
Yeah, Jerry 128. Was that New South Wales Cup SuperCoach?
Big Bronson fans on this show.
I'm a big Bronson guy. I can't wait to see him at the Panthers next week.
So 1985, and Nate Dogg says Marnie lost minutes due to the score being blown out pretty quickly. I'd say he lost minutes because he's not very good, and just tries to do too much 10 minutes out from the line. But then again, Sonny Luke was also pretty poor when he came on. So
Sonny Luke was bad when he came on. So there's a lot of safety there, I think, regardless. And look, 40 odd points is shit, but maybe you just think of not playing him next week.
Is it worth going Nico to Cleary now? No. Like, I feel like this is an overreaction.
Okay, all right, Prison Mike. Here's what you need to do. You need to go and have a look at who the Sharks are playing next week, because they're playing the Titans, and then you go, okay, do I captain Nico now? That is the question that you need to ask, not trade him. Slap the C on him next week.
I thought you were going. You just need to. Okay, Prison Mike. What you need to do is go find a mirror.
No, we can't use that one 2 weeks in a row.
No.
I'll find my own content.
No. We're going to use it for this game as well, by the way. Want to know?
Dolphins, sorry. You're right.
Want to know, can you boys stroke my ego or tell me if it's just a coincidence? Is my tinfoil hat theory about no ball going left correct? 2 games into the season.
Yeah.
Oh, so far, yeah.
It gets to Billy Burns and he's like, oh, my left trigger button is broken. No more ball left.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's the game. Nah, they play the Dolphins next week. Good correction in the chat.
It's practically the same.
We said about not using the mirror analogy, but I want to roll it out one more week because there was 7,428 people that brought in Braden Trindle. Now I want to say go buy a mirror. I'll pay for the installation. I'll even pay for the home delivery just for you to look at yourself. Because like, I can't think of a good argument to buy him.
We told everybody in the buy, hold, sell to just stop it, get some help, and that wasn't enough. So the mirrors come out. Maybe you can add in a swift uppercut as well if you did get him, because
Can't wait for him to score 110 next week.
Fucking oath you will. Yep.
That was our first TikTok, wasn't it? Where I ripped Braden Trindle.
Yeah, it was a really long rant about Braden Trindle not being a good football player. I remember it very
I'm glad that you guys have a social media coordinator now because anyway, we're an hour into this podcast. We still have 2 games to go.
Let's talk about the Knights and the Sea
Sunday
Eagles,
wrap
then.
up. It's supposed to be shit talk.
It's the Rage Trade wrap up.
This is the most insipid performance, and I don't use that word lightly. This was the most insipid. Imagine you had to go all the way to Manly. No public transport to Manly, by the way. You had to get a bus. Right? Oh, insipid just means horrendous, bad, like
lacking flavour, weak or tasteless. Yeah, it's a good use of the word. Actually.
Yeah, that's good. It's like
insipid.
That's
what I would call it. Anyway, so set the scene because Matrix doesn't know. There's no public transport out to Manly, so you either have to walk or get a bus or whatnot. You're sitting Sunday afternoon, 4:00, and it's still kind of hot this time of the year, so the sun's like beaming down. And you're paying $12 for a can of 4 Pines beer, and you got to do that maybe like 5 or 6 times for the game. And you got to watch this shit get dished up. Put me out of my misery. Just
that's a normal price, to be fair.
No, but No, that's
And
fine,
I'm
right?
cool with
$12 is fine. But how many of them do you have to buy to put up with this shit?
Oh no, you would have one, then you would go home and have the rest.
This
you
was
wouldn't hang
the
around.
most embarrassing, disgraceful performance of football I've ever seen. And I support the West Tigers.
Who?
And to be fair, Kez is on the money. Nothing worse than sinking 4 pines in the sun with Luke Brooks on the field. And look, and as a Tigers supporter, I've had to do that for many years. And there said is Luke Brooks, but for New South Wales Cup Supercoach.
I want to know what you said. Can you please reiterate what you said in that group chat?
I say a lot of things. What did I say? Oh, actually, no, I do know where I was going with that. I said, have we ever seen a worse player with a more lengthy career than Luke Brooks? Like a player that's just been in the league for so long and has been so shit forever. Like, I don't know whether there has been, like, aside from his Dally M halfback year.
That's still crazy.
Which is wild to say. I just think, and let us know in the chat whether you can come up with any players that have been so mid or average, but has had such a lengthy career in the NRL. Because I just don't know. I'm sure that all the Manly supporters are now starting to get it. I remember when they first signed Luke Brooks, they said, this is a great signing. He's going to complement DCE. He's going to be amazing. Imagine how good he's going to be with DCE on the field instead of Mitchell Moses and whoever else. Jeff Robson? Hell, he's up there. That's a good shit.
Luke Brooks has played 205 games and has a career win percentage of 37%. He has 3 seasons over 500, over a 500 win percentage.
I mean, look, he was stuck in the shit Tigers team. You can't. I don't know whether you can judge him on that, but my argument is, if he didn't play for the Tigers, he wouldn't have had a long career because he was the best we had. We had over Moses and Teddy and Aaron Woods and all those guys.
Papsy, man.
Anyway, fuck it.
That's the what is the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas meme.
Yeah. I just felt like Turbo also really suffered from Brooks today. And let's just take out the drop balls that led to immediate tries on their line. The amount of times that Turbo was free out the back with a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 overlap, and Brooks hit the short man on the edge. Like, Burbo got a workout today because Brooks didn't know that there were other players on the field. He just went short to Burbo 15 times and kept feeding him short. Is he? I don't know whether he's capable of hitting a man out the back. And it was super frustrating, as you can see there. Turbo is orange on my screen, which means I was hoping he'd do something today. Thankfully, he did it by himself. But there was a very, very questionable line break assist and try assist that I'm very concerned about waking up tomorrow morning and seeing 20 less points next to his name. Yeah. So
I've given up. Right? So I've tried to be the voice of not even the voice of reason, because I'll just rinse SuperCoach if they're not doing well. But I try and be the voice of maybe they've awarded it for this reason, like a try assist, right? Like the Cody Walker one. I'm like, here's a 6-page in-depth, like a 6-slide in-depth breakdown as to why you got it. After seeing Cleary not get one for Edwards last week, which is fine. I'm very happy that he didn't get it. How they've justified this when Hamoli's beaten 18 people on the field and had to drag the entire city of Newcastle on his back to score the try, I don't understand it. But as an owner, I'm very happy.
Oh, absolutely. Stoked. He was the purchase for Drinky this week, so very, very happy with the result in the end. 88 in this abomination of a game by Manly was a great result. Hamoli obviously getting a score there as well, 64. His base was in the toilet though. Taniela Paseka, a little bit of a drop back from him. He played 56 minutes, I think it was, in his first game. He played less than that in this one, so still 48, still not too bad, but definitely, probably bigger fires to put out, bigger issues there. But how good's Trey Mooney? 64 for him. Just churns it out. Even a short first stint, people were a little bit concerned over the minutes there, and then he came back with 30 to go and just played the last 30. So I don't think you have to worry there, especially with all of the injuries to the outside backs. It mucked up their forward rotation, and he probably got a few extra minutes there. So sadly, injuries, Josh, are the main thing to talk about for the Knights. Ponga obviously got, 54?
In about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's some real Herbie against the Warriors vibes last year when he was on about 100 after 20 minutes. Annoying, but good for me. I was trying to work out how to get Sewer. Now I can get Sewer and not be losing too much sleep. Mooney loved an offload. Mooney does love an offload. Mooney with a chip and chase as well. Kick dead.
Oh,
not a fan. I'm a big fan. Big fan of any put a chip in. Love that.
If he did that under Wayne Bennett, he'd be hooked. He'd be gone. He'd be playing Cup next week.
Did you see how much he wanted it too? Like,
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
people around. He's like,
give me the ball.
This is me.
I feel like as a non-Dylan Lucas owner, I got away with one. He was on 43 at halftime in pure BP, finished on 59. So, yeah, just pulled up shop in the second half. So really happy with that. Also did look he got a pretty big hit, Dylan Lucas. So definitely one to monitor. But yeah, if you bought Phoenix Crossan off the back of his 65 in 55 BP last week, it was annoying because he got moved to the halves and didn't do anything. But yeah, Jermaine McEwen as well. He's a trade out. Just get rid of him. But yeah, Fletcher Sharp's back next week. So if you held him, then that's cool. Probably plays fullback for the foreseeable future. And Dylan Brown in sporting the same knee brace as yours truly. So man of taste, I see. But yeah, he's out for probably 3 or 4 weeks, depending on how severe his MCL strain is. Last game of the round, boys. Changed my tip last minute to the Titans. I thought I was a big brain at the 65th minute mark, but left me in pain and heartache as the Dolphins run away. Will come over the top and win 18-14.
Yeah, I just think the Titans probably just aren't good enough at this stage to be able to hold a lead like that. I think the Dolphins just grinded them out. They did well in the end. You know, to see the Titans score 14 points and their highest scorer is Bo Firma with the 61 is pretty alarming as well for the most part. Usually the Titans, at least they score points, but we didn't really see that in this one. They need Jaden Campbell back ASAP, and they need Tino playing 10 to 15 more minutes on the park. Or maybe that's just me. But we'll just see. We'll see what that looks like moving forward. But Jaden Campbell will make them a better team. It's more a matter of... And I think for anybody who has Keanu Keeney as well, that's probably tied to Jaden Campbell. I think when Campbell's back, Keeney will be better. He's been fine, but he'll be better for that as well. Fayamani, great from him. I think there's a line break included in that, but 46 in BP, really impressive. Arama Howe, 53 for him. Absolutely zero complaints from me. But the big man there, with the 50 next to his name, he can get in the bin. So he'll be gone very quickly.
He has small ears. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it. And you're asking me whether this game.
That's my thoughts on Tino.
I love Stephen A. blow-ups. It's like my favourite thing. We actually need to upload them properly to the system so that we can just play them instead of you putting them through your mic. But yeah, no, I agree. He's gone. Cooper Bye, though. Anybody who traded Cooper Bye, ripped to them last week. Slow burn, but this is what he can do. How about the bloke could have honestly parked his truck through the hole that he ran through. Like just a little up and under from hooker. And he's run through the world's biggest hole in the middle of the field. That was fucking bizarre.
Speaking of world's biggest hole, Tino was also put through a massive gaping one as well, but like it was slightly forward, which was frustrating. I still would have sold him. If he scored that and he finishes on 80, I still sell him because the minutes are the big concern for me. Boys, my Tino hot take from last year. Am I right?
About him just not being a winning footballer.
Just being a stat patter that wants to get paid, which is totally
he's
cool.
not even getting stats anymore.
No, he's just getting paid. So even better.
Yeah, now he's just Luke Brooks.
Literally. Anyway, no, I've always held the opinion that I don't think he is top 3 in his position, where I feel like a lot of people hold him in that stand. But yeah, his role, I don't know if it's the injury, like if the off-season surgery, or if it's his role in this team, but like as someone said in the chat earlier, like he's just not offloading anymore, and he's just not playing minutes, and he's just like a lot of the value in these, like the reason why Terome was so good last year is because he was playing 70 minutes. The reason why Payne Haas is so good is because he was playing 55 minutes but putting up like a 1.3 PPM. Like if you're playing shit minutes and you have a shit PPM and you have no ceiling, like what are we doing? Anyway, he's out. He's out as fast as can be. Yep.
I'd imagine a lot of people are with you there as well. If you have Tommy Flegler there, I
think he got Drinkwatered. Had some needle injections but couldn't come back on and had a padding and whatnot. So he's an out. How many people went Colhoun to Flegler that are going back to Colhoun now?
Colhoun will be in the top 5.
The same people that went Pezzett to Walker that are probably going to go back to Pezzett, and the same one. Maybe 3 trades. Maybe in the last 3 weeks, people have gone Colhoun to Flegler, they went Pezzett to Cody, and they went Atkinson to Sanders.
And now
maybe they're just doing that reverse this week. Yeah.
Write that. Let's do it.
I genuinely don't feel bad about my 2 trades, but man, if you're doing trades like that in round 2, like man, you're going to be finished by round 18.
Apart from that, not much is happening. I think Fini Fuyaki's looked really good for 2 weeks in a row. What is he? 450k.
He's been good.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
It's a good pod play, but like just so much cheapies. And then for the Titans, it's
nobody. Yes. That's pretty much it. I just need to see them with Jaden Campbell.
That's Rama Howe. Also, shout out to Josh Paxton, who was like, look like unreal in Cup again 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Two huge games in Cup. So yeah, interested to see what that looks like, whether they shake things up or whether they continue on their merry way. And
I would keep some of your money in the bank. I'm sure a lot of you are going to have like 300-400k spare. Might just keep it in case anything does happen to Ramahal, but I don't think he's played bad enough for anything to happen. He's also like 21, 22, so Patson's 27.
Agreed. I think we're fine. But plenty of moves to consider at least this week. If you've got as many problems as myself, you'll be boosting. And there's nothing wrong with boosting coming into round 3. We'll talk a lot about it on the Tuesday show. And of course, on Wednesday, buy, hold, sell, we'll be giving you plenty of targets. Is Terrell May a worry because of his 55 minutes or no?
No, I mean, if you bought him, you probably should have known that. Like, there was a lot of talk about him wanting to play less minutes. I think he had a back flare up in the preseason, but like still like unreal PPM. I think the regression is going to be there. We spoke about that in the preseason, but maybe it's like a 5-point regression. So if you own him, it's not the end of the world. But if you don't have him, I'm not running out to buy him. I'll probably pick him up in round 5, 6 if he drops in price a little bit.
And who was it that commentated the Tigers game? Kept calling him Tyrrell May. Fuck, it annoyed me.
Was it Jake Duke? Yeah, it was Jake Duke.
Yeah, Tyrrell May.
So I was like glazing Jake Duke because I thought he was really good in the trials, and now I'm like, oh no, you're just not very good.
Did you Google how to delete a tweet?
I should have. He liked it though, so I was like, oh, but no.
Look, he'll get better. He's only
just give me Nico Parelio and comms. That's what I want in life.
Rate him. He's good. Like Nico. Guys, that'll do us before we drag this out any past 1 hour 20. But that is the wrap up, the Rage Trade. There's a lot of Rage Trades to be done. That's why it went so long. But that is the Rage Trade Sunday recap for round 2. Of course, we've got a big week coming up. We've got subscriber surgery, as always, tomorrow afternoon. So keep an eye out for that one. We've got Buy, Hold, Sell. We've got the TLT Tuesday live show. That'll be 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday night, I'm assuming, depending on what Maddie's basketball looks like. And then we've also got the captaincy show as well. And if you do want to become a Patreon subscriber and get more from us, you get your own show, which is about us going through the consensus team. We also pick apart and answer all of your questions inside the Discord as well. And there is a deadline stream inside the Discord for subscribers only to answer your final questions before kickoff on Thursday night. So plenty of content there. Make sure to follow us all on socials. You see it on the screen there. And make sure to give the show a subscribe on YouTube. We would appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you've had a decent week. Hopefully you wake up to some green arrows in the morning. And hopefully we have a nice early lockout tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in. Give it a thumbs up. See you tomorrow.
Cheerio.